Hi, welcome everybody. We are a little live earlier than expected. We were planning on 11:30, but hey, the gang's all here, so why not? We actually were going to be doing this tomorrow. Chess and I were talking about kind of doing this as a I was going to say non sequitur thing, which it kind of is, but as a caffeine corner thing. Womp womp. As a caffeine corner kind of thing to go over examples of narcissistic narcissistic supply and gaslighting 101, but due to more pending circumstances, we thought it more appropriate to maybe kind of go over these things today. And I literally just got these about an hour ago, give or take. I have verified them. They have been sent to me via email, so they are legit. There's no question about that, but I wanted them to be out there in context because they are damning, and people will be spinning them to try to salvage whatever reputation Kyle thinks that he can get out of this. And so I'm kind of curious, though, and I'm going to ask Chesire, because you've seen these.
Kyle's got a reputation out of this, that's for sure.
Let me ask you about this. See, I can't imagine any of this actually. You see, Kyle has till 3 o'clock Eastern to file whatever affidavit he wants, whatever he wants by 3 o'clock Eastern. So they're waiting till the last minute. I cannot imagine anything out of here his lawyer allowing him to file. I just can't. It just is too damning. We have the originals. We have the emails. It just would boggle my mind that she would allow it. So I'm thinking that he's just trying to gaslight Ben, and basically Uni eventually is probably going to run some script on it to try to salvage what he can by chopping it up. And so I think it's better to have it all out there. And it blew my mind. It just the amount of threats that Kyle has had towards Ben is just unimaginable, because he does not want Ben to come forth with this information. He just didn't.
I'm glad we have a community that's not keen on threats. Like, we have a lot of people who have kind of been in these situations. We have people who have been in these situations with husbands, girlfriends, boyfriends, significant others, kids. Like, we spend so much time going over this kind of stuff on Caffeine Corner to help you avoid this kind of shit. Not including death threats and threats that people get to their workplaces just over the internet because of the shitty people that we fucking deal with on a regular basis. So it's nice to see how much support Ben has gotten from the community in coming forward, despite some of the shit Kyle said to him.
And that's exactly it. I told Ben we're not going to just leave him hanging. I told him we've got his back, and I can tell you this: everything he's told me has been absolutely consistent. Absolutely consistent.
That's not to even mention the people that are going to support Kyle through this and during this. Like they're going to see it, they're going to try and spin it instead of being like, you know what, maybe that's not cool. You don't have to throw Kyle under the bus. Like, if you really feel like you want to support Kyle, or you really feel like he deserves to be supported, you can support him without enabling this kind of bullshit behavior. You can support somebody into doing the what's right, what's a good thing to actually move forward for, right? You could be like, hey, listen, Kyle, I don't think that you're a bad person. Hey, I don't think that what's been happening to you is really, like, it sucks that this is happening to you also, or like, if in whatever world you fucking live in. But you also can be like, hey, Kyle, not cool, maybe don't do this. Like, it doesn't mean you have to crucify the guy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I take a different approach altogether. The dude's a piece of shit. He deserves to be crucified, and especially after what I just got done reading. Oh yeah.
No, I mean,
he is quite frankly a bigger piece of shit than I could have possibly ever have imagined.
Let me clarify. I'm saying, if you're still somebody who supports Kyle and you want to support Kyle, you can support him without enabling this kind of behavior. If you're he's an absolute piece of shit, and he should rot in jail for all I fucking care.
If you're a guy that's still supporting Kyle after all this, I just have one question: what the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know. I want to talk to somebody who is. I really, honest to God, do. I really do. But we're going to go through this. There's 3 key pieces of things that I was sent. These were from Sunday. Now, you got to remember, on Sunday, September 6, 2020, was the first time I've ever spoke to Ben. That has already been established. Ben reached out to me in February, March, but Kyle forced him to take those tweets down. He threatened him. Ben wasn't really specific on what those threats were at the time, but he did say he threatened him to take those tweets down, which he did. I never saw those tweets. I never responded to those tweets. I've never had any contact with Ben until last Sunday. That has obviously been well established, because when I first messaged Ben, I said, is this really Ben? And I wanted to make sure it was, and I had him message me on Facebook because I didn't know his Facebook page, but we never bothered to reach out to him.
Double check to make sure it wasn't actually you?
Yeah, I mean...
You weren't just yourself?
Well, I mean, like people have said, I didn't really want to get him involved, and so we never bothered to reach out to him to involve him in any of this. We just didn't think it was appropriate, and plus, you know, if he was Kyle's real boyfriend at the time and stuff like that, you know, he probably would have just told us to piss off. So I mean, it wasn't doing us any good. Right. We had our concerns with the signatures, but I couldn't really prove anything, so I never really, you know, did anything with it. But you know, him actually coming out and saying without question that wasn't his signature, that it was forged, and that has been submitted to the court, that's pretty damning. However, what is more damning is Kyle's threats to him by him doing that, and Kyle openly threatening him. And we're going to show you these threats. Like I said, I do have the actual emails that have been sent to me, not just the screenshots, which I'm going to show you. But I asked Ben, can you please forward these to me? There are from two different accounts. From Kyle. One was, and I think I remember one of these accounts before. I'm not sure if I recall the other one, but they're not from the NonSequitur account, I can tell you that. So I don't know how many accounts Kyle actually used, but it seemed to be quite a bit. I got to tell you that this one has, I'm not going to tell you the whole email, but it has that Kyle in it, and the other one has, let me go look here. Go ahead while I'm looking here.
Yeah, on top of everything, I just want to repeat the question I already asked. After all of this shit, after all of this has now been thrown out there in the public, I am shocked to see that there are still some people supporting Kyle.
Oh, I'm blown away, but whatever.
I again would like to ask the question to those people. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I would love to have somebody who actually wants to support Kyle come on and explain, but whatever. And the other email was from, I just say it has that smoking in it, but anyways, they're definitely from what I would believe to be Kyle's accounts, and they are dated, they are time stamped, and they are from this Sunday. Last Sunday, September 6th. So I think I clearly have validated them and do my due diligence.
What did we do this time before bringing them forward?
Yeah, no, I asked. Well, like always, I said, can you please send me the actual forwarded messages, and Ben actually most certainly did. So there you go.
He didn't freak out and be super duper weird and be like, I'm gonna delete them.
No. All right, so okay. Let me show you the first thing that Ben sent me today. And I told him that we were going to be going tomorrow on doing this, but I said we're probably going to go today now that we wanted to like kind of put it out there before anybody else did, because I guarantee it they're going to twist this. And by the way, I don't even know what they're going to twist without chopping things up. They're going to have to chop things up because it's very clear that Ben did not want anything notarized, that he was not willing to perjure himself for Kyle. So if you guys look on the outside here, the first message that I got from Ben today, this was dated September 6th. He says, RE, I remember you asking me to get the document notarized, that you had lived with me, and replying back to you by pointing out the bullshit of that while thinking about how stupid you must believe me to be. It's kind of hard to say that I drunkenly signed something that clearly has an electronic signature on it. Why would you need to forge a rental agreement to go along with that also? You're pathetic, Kyle, and I hope my testimony can help other people see how despicable you really are. And it's sent from his iPhone. Now, I asked him about this. I'm like, okay, what's the story on this? Supposedly, Kyle was trying to tell him that he went out to some bar. I have the name of the bar, and then afterwards he got him to sign. I'm like, so you're trying to say that you got somebody drunk and then got him to sign an electronic signature? This narrative makes sense to you. This is called gaslighting, legit gaslighting. And he's like, I never signed anything. Yeah. That never happened. And he has there's no actual him. There's no correspondence between them on this. It's everything has been Kyle sending him in the last couple days. Kyle's been sending him messages telling him what happened, what in his fantasy world. but none of this happened. So basically Kyle's trying to formulate a narrative after the fact, a post-off narrative. This is why I can't imagine they'd be dumb enough to put this to the court.
Well, there's an admission in here. You probably don't remember because you're drunk or whatever he's trying to say. So you took advantage of someone while they were drunk to
it makes no sense.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. I can't
Gio
imagine
in the live chat said that as well. Wait, Kyle is now claiming that Ben signed the obviously faked signature thing while being drunk.
Yeah, I have. We'll show you the actual messages from Kyle's claiming this. We'll show you this. Peter Riley from Forbes.com says, "Hey guys, working on another piece." Okay, and we hope you do. And again, you have full access to me or Chesire or the Reds. We're always going to tell you the truth. I know who you get your information from. It's not legit information. What these people telling you, they're not accurate sources of information, no matter how much you want them to be. But I can guarantee they're not.
Just ask them for any first step direct knowledge, anything.
Yeah.
Fucking anything.
They have no direct knowledge. We've been involved in this case since day one. They have not. Matter of fact, some of them was the one that helped. Obviously, helped Kyle promote these fraudulent financials to the court for the fraudulent accounts payable that have been padded for invoices that don't exist. I mean, that was done by one of your sources.
Yeah.
They don't care.
So I'm going to go ahead and jump on into this if I can.
Yeah, let's read the other super chat first.
I got the screenshot here. If it's all right, if I can read it. It's starting with "I'm glad you're stronger."
Yeah, let me read this real quick, then I'll put that on the screen. Jackalope per master $2. I work at ATM. I'll catch this later. Okay.
Work at the moment.
Okay.
Did you see Peter also?
Yeah, I was referring to Peter.
That was what we were. Okay.
All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and see what I can find.
He mainly sticks with the documents that file, which is fine. Those are accurate, obviously, right? I mean, except the one that Kyle put in, clearly.
Yeah. So again, it starts with "I'm glad you're stronger" and all that. So is that screenshot up?
Yeah, it's up. You're good.
Yeah, Peter knows the accounts payable were padded. Anybody can point that out. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm glad you're stronger and all that. And up until today, I wouldn't have said I hate that I ever met you, but for some reason you decided today you wanted to start World War III, and so you better get ready for it. I'm just going to stop it right there. That sounds like a threat.
Oh, it gets worse.
Uh-huh. What the fuck did I do to you, huh? Just feel like trying to hurt someone today? Dude, you forged the signature. Fuck you.
Yeah, and by the way, we just a little teaser. Chesire and I think we plan to, on her channel, because she's the artist, go over each detail of why the signatures are really related. I mean, you can tell they're signed by the same person, and you can tell they're not Ben's signature. I probably have a dozen things that will show that they're not the same signature as the original by Ben.
Not the first you would have done that, and I know you won't answer that, just like you don't anything else, which is fine. And you do whatever you feel like you need to do. I have more than enough to show I live there, and more than enough of you talking about the case. How ridiculous is it?
Yeah.
Who sounds like the jilted lover right now?
Yeah, I mean, we listen to Ben on my channel. We listen to Ben on Reds.
You're not answering me, and I know you're not going to answer me, but I'm sending you this book of a message anyway.
Ben did not. Ben has blocked him on multiple platforms, multiple things, and he keeps.
Good.
By the way, didn't he say that he sent $1 at a time on Numo or whatever it was? It wasn't PayPal or some other service to get a message to him each time, like $6 worth.
How pathetic do you have to be? How desperate and how much of a jilted lover do you need to be when your only point of contact with somebody who doesn't want to talk to you is to send them money? Like, that's pathetic. That is so sad. Oh my god.
He said that on my channel while I was interviewing him.
Yeah, it wasn't even just the fact he was sending him money. Is the only way you get a message to him, I guess, because he had him blocked.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's weird.
Oh, anyway, gonna ask you to very quickly shut the fuck up.
Okay, but I got a super chat that will have to take priority. The Evil Scotsman, £5. Screwing over Steve is bad enough, but to do it to a guy you supposedly love? Seriously, what the fuck? What did we talk about with narcissists? They don't. I don't think they even actually know what love actually is. They love themselves.
So again, Steve,
go ahead.
Shut the fuck up. How ridiculous is it, etc., to show that you are just a scorned ex trying to stir up shit? So please make any testimony you need to. I just hope it's worth the truth that I'm going to make sure is known about you.
That's a threat.
Those tweets are still up, so I see what's going to happen. Like I said, if they are still up tomorrow morning, I wouldn't go into work, and I'd make sure your mom gets a heads up about what her pastor is about to get. I hope you do leave them up and enter the court case. I've got plenty to show against your words, so do your thing, Ben, and thank you for showing who you really are and just what I used to be in love with. This has made me to where I will never miss you another day in my life, so thank you for that.
Except he's still messaging him.
Stop messaging. Oh, well, shit, never mind.
Yeah. and by the way, this is I'm telling you straight up. I always talk about the ring of truth. I'm not even fronting. Everything Ben has told me has been consistent. Everything. Legit everything. The only thing that I didn't understand was the screenshot that we'll get into. I'll show it again, but that was entered in record. And by the way, it's kind of funny because Kyle was going to use this screenshot for his evidence. I don't know how the hell he thought it was vindicating him, but he said that he wanted something from December to February. We couldn't figure out why, but then we thought about it. I think it had to do with when the roommate moved out. He wanted to say, hey, say that I was living with you during that time of the roommate stuff, which again, all trying to run this narrative stuff, because I was like, why is he asking for December, February rather than back in July, right? Or August?
You would think that if your girlfriend or boyfriend, your significant other, if you were going to move in with them, you probably wouldn't be using separate rooms.
Also,
they liked you or they wanted you to be there.
Also, there is the second thing that I wanted to point out, and that's witness intimidation, and going on to the second screenshot, which I'm just going to dive into.
Wait, before you do that, I have a question about what Kyle is saying here, because I'm a little bit confused. Yeah. He says something about going into he's talking about going into Ben's work, not his own work, or do Ben and him work together?
No. Okay, so let me clarify this. First of all, this is very consistent with the whole tweet thing that he had him take down the other tweets. So he's asking him to take down these tweets. Okay, no, he's talking about going into Ben's work. Supposedly, and I haven't got verification of this yet, but Ben said that Kyle sent an email to his work, but it was his old work, so he didn't care.
Okay.
Yep.
I can get a copy of that email though.
Saying about Ben's mom and her pastor. What?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, he didn't go into the details. Yeah.
I feel like that's just autocorrect. It's fucked something up. Like it's supposed to mean like her son, like her.
No. Like, I think it could be pastor, like something, because I mean, Ben is Christian. I don't know.
So what? Kyle's gonna break into another church and be like, "This dude is doing some shit."
Yeah, I don't know what the allegations are, but it really doesn't matter. This is intimidation. This is you come. Yeah.
If they're both very Christian and Ben is not out of the closet to his mother and
that could
his
be a problem.
church,
but I'm sure
that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, but guys. But guys, and everyone who's watching this, it only gets worse from here, and I'm going to dive right on into it.
Let's go.
He says in the next screenshot that was sent to me, Kyle says, "Forging your signature ? I didn't forge anything. Do you not remember the conversation we had? Because I have the screenshots in case you don't, where I said there's something I need you to sign, and you responded playfully with that emoji, and then followed up with a whatever you need. I'll be happy to send that over if you don't. Those screenshots aren't going to look good to a court."
We sent them over. That was our evidence.
Yeah. You're going to look just like what you are, a vindictive ex. You signed it that night after we went to Billy Jack's, or do you not remember because you were drunk as usual?
Well, can we pause, because I want to go through this point by point. All right, so he's saying the screenshot that we already sent to the court, and you guys already seen, about, hey, I needed to go have this notarized, and he said, wouldn't that be perjury? He's trying to gaslight Ben right now, saying, hey, do you remember those screenshots? Because, I said, hey, I want to come over and have you notarize them. But Ben not an idiot. He remembers that, and he said, yeah, but I didn't want to have him notarized because that'd be perjury. So how is sending those over to the court helping Kyle at all? I'm a little bit lost here.
Kyle seems to be okay. First off, Kyle's a dumbass. I mean, I think this has been demonstrated at this point. I think it's just a straight up fact that we can say at this point. He's seen because he got these like right after you said you were going to DM him on Twitter, right?
He got these right after, that day. I mean, literally, these are from right after. If you look at the timestamp on Sunday, yeah.
Ben messaged you on Twitter publicly. You went into DMs with him, and by the time that had happened, these were the messages that Kyle was sending to Ben.
Correct.
It seems to me that Kyle at this point was thinking that Ben was going to submit something to the court, which makes no fucking sense.
But here's the thing: Kyle had no idea what was going on, so he kind of started trying to run this presumptive narrative.
Before we get too deep, before we get too deep on this, I just want to finish. I wouldn't forge anything knowing you could come back and say it wasn't you, and I didn't end up using that in my motion anyway because I figured you'd try and start shit.
Which he did.
Do whatever you want, Ben, but I promise you that I will make sure you lose your job and everyone knows about you. You know what I mean. If that's worth it to you, do your thing.
That's a threat.
Yeah, I don't know if you could get any more explicit than that.
That's a direct threat. And by the way, he even says it here, I didn't use it in my motion. He didn't use the affidavit. I just told Ben that day, here's his affidavit. I sent it to him. He's like, what the fuck? You forged my signature? I was like, yeah. He didn't know. He was, here's him. And here's him at the same day. Kyle's going, well, I didn't even use that affidavit. The fuck you didn't? We have it on record. It's in the court documents. Right. This is gas. He thinks that either Ben hasn't looked at this stuff, which he hadn't, which is true. And he didn't really know that I had told Ben that he had an affidavit in his name. Like, what?
You would. He was afraid that you would tell Ben what was going on, which is why he's trying to scare him off before you had done that. But it was
yeah. And also for people who want to know, it's ECF number 20.
Yes, ECF number 20 in the case. I'm trying to find that screenshot you sent.
And you can click on that. And people have been on Twitter playing a game of one of these things is not like the other. And guess what? You don't have to be an expert to see that the signatures are different. And by the way, Kyle, there's 2 T's in pots, not one, dumbass.
You would think that there, fuck's sakes. Like, how many times have people been running around saying that we contacted people's work to threaten them?
Right, and I've never contacted anybody's work.
Never show. And what do we have Kyle doing?
Contacting people's or threatening. We don't know if he actually. Well, again, he did send an email to his old work. I don't have confirmation on that. I'm not sure how he get that email, but I could probably get the conversation Ben had about it. So I don't know, but yeah, he's definitely threatening him to do it.
I mean, this is textbook witness intimidation. Textbook, absolutely. And you know what? Kyle is so fucked right now, and he keeps making it worse for himself. Like
diggy hole.
Whoa.
He literally is just like, I'm gonna tell your mom. I'm tattling on you.
Diggy hole.
Ben's mom should be proud of him if you go and tell her.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, we sure are. And by the way, like I said, when you listen to Ben speak about these things, you could just tell he's very sincere. I mean, I don't think anybody would question his integrity or honor, and he certainly doesn't sound like a jilted lover by any stretch of imagination.
During my conversation with him, the picture I got was that Ben just wanted Kyle out of his fucking house. Like, for fuck's sake, dude, just leave. Just fucking leave.
Blame him?
You can't stay here. I don't have enough shells for all your hair gel.
Like, Jesus Christ. And the thing is that when you listen to Ben and when he talks about the financials going between him and Kyle, it's also clear that Steve, he didn't save a fucking penny for you.
Oh no,
not a goddamn
no,
cent.
we know that. I mean, that's kind of been something we've known all along. But so that whole narrative, oh, I have money in a separate account, and I try to pay Steve.
Steve will get everything that's coming to him, monetarily speaking. Yeah, bullshit. It was all
knew
bullshit.
We knew something was wrong. And this is what I was saying. Dave McGinnis, myself, Bullinator, you, we all went to him and said, hey, we want to see the financials. We want to see where this money's going. We want to know what the hell's going on. And we never got an answer. None of us did. It wasn't just me.
There's somebody in the chat, which is like a Unisoc account. I don't know if it's actually him. It says, I think those messages are a nice work of forgery. Steve, you're a fucking liar.
Except I have the actual forwarded emails. I mean, so I did my due diligence. But yeah,
don't know if it's the real Uni or a sock, but whatever.
I mean, it sounds like something he would say.
Right?
It does, doesn't it?
let me see if I can find that email or that text message that Kyle sent that he thought he was gaslighting him about.
He would be desperate enough to come over here and then claim that, oh well, Steve sends all these trolls, meanwhile is in our chat, when literally none of us ever go over to his because none of us give a shit.
Yeah.
Never. All right, I found it. So if you guys remember that screenshot, this is what he's completely trying to gaslight Ben on, saying, hey, you remember that screenshot and this is on Sunday before we submitted to the Discord. He said, remember that screenshot we had where I said I wanted to come over Monday and get you to notarize stuff? But what did it actually say?
This is beforehand, right? This was all before we submitted anything, which means that Kyle knew that Ben had some shit that was going to affect the court case, that he knew that if Ben spoke to Steve, something was going to come out of it, to the point where he felt it was necessary to threaten Ben by saying and telling his mom something, or saying his pastor or his workplace and everybody in town is going to know something about him, just so this information would, if none of this was real and it didn't matter and Kyle did have enough evidence like he said and he did sign it when he was drunk, then why are you trying to intimidate him? Yeah. Why are you trying to brush on the road?
Oh, because what did I tell you what happens with Kyle when he gets his back against the wall?
He pisses his pants.
Yeah, I mean, he lashes out. He does just insane things. But this says very clearly here, he asked, what favor can I do for you? Which, Kyle was trying to gaslight him on. He says, when I come Monday, I need you to go with me to a notary to get a document signed saying I lived at your address from December to February. And again, we couldn't figure out the December-February thing, except now that Ben had talked to you on your channel, Reds, it makes a little more sense. I think he was probably saying, during the time that the roommate moved out, say that I was living there. Right, or something, because that was about the time the roommate lived out. That's what makes sense to me, rather than because he didn't say January, July, or August, because at that point, Ben would go, "What the hell you're talking about? Why the hell would you been living with me in August? We barely just met then,
Well, the simple fact is this: the screenshot is very clear. It says, "Isn't that perjury?" No, I did, and then the reply is not full time, and you didn't pay rent.
Yep, and by the way, that never mind with the little emoji thing, that's typical of Kyle. I have so many times where he did never mind to me and other people, but this is not contestable, I don't think at all, because Kyle even verified this is what he said to him. But Ben is very clear, isn't that perjury?
Hey Kyle, do me a favor. Roll for initiative when it comes to witness intimidation.
Damn
it! It's a 1.
critical miss. Critical fail. A Flemo for $2. I have more money than Kyle Curtis. Have some. Thank you, Flemo. I appreciate that. Very much, actually. But no, like I said, I mean, I knew all along there was some problems where all the money was going. I mean, he was telling me he was taking trips. He told me that he spent the money for Patreon. Which, by the way, I admit I gave him permission to do, because he said and I have this in emails, that he said I have the AdSense for your money, so I don't get shorted. He said, but I can't get into the AdSense because of particular problems with the valid verification, which I know happens. It has happened to numerous people, so I do believe that was the case. I don't think he was lying about that. But I knew there was problems with the money, because he had to dip into the Patreon fund.
Geo is kind of expounding upon what we said earlier, saying that's another thing. How would Ben drunkenly sign the affidavit help Kyle? Wouldn't Kyle admit that Ben wasn't in a state where he would be able to understand what an affidavit is, making it void?
It makes absolutely no sense, this bizarre narrative. This is what I'm saying. I can't imagine for the life of me Kyle actually submitting this to the court on Monday as a narrative. I don't understand how his lawyer would allow that. I think it's more for public opinion. But then again, Kyle have already submitted things to the court we know is completely fraudulent.
There's a couple of things that are this is how gaslighting works. It only works when there's only one or two people involved. It's not that difficult to gaslight or make an individual question whether or not what they're saying is accurate. And keep in mind that Kyle did this and said this before we released anything. But like, he was trying to get to Ben before Steve could have a chance to and scare him off from getting involved or talking about the issue. And it's a one-on-one conversation. To us, we look at this and go, what the fuck? But to Ben,
Yes.
he might be like, wait, what?
Yep.
Like, what are you talking about? It's so absurd, it makes him question what's going on. And if he doesn't know the details of the court case and he doesn't know the details of what Kyle's been doing, then there's a really good chance that it might work. He might not realize that, oh, well, I wouldn't have been in a state, so then it wouldn't apply anyway. Like, without talking to other people and without, like, being with more than one people around to verify what was going on, it's a lot easier to do this. But this kind of tactic doesn't work when you can't isolate somebody, which is very, very difficult to do on the internet.
Oh, isolation is definitely key. Isolation is very much key.
For Geo, listen, the fact that these messages were sent to Ben allows us to have copies of these messages. And if Kyle decides to submit anything saying that Ben actually signed something, we would send these messages as a reply to those, showing, hey, Kyle admitted that if these were actually signed by Ben, that he was in a state of mind where he didn't even know what the fuck he was signing because he was drunk.
Yeah, it doesn't even make any sense from the beginning. But notice
taking advantage of somebody because Kyle at no point says that it wouldn't be perjury to Ben. He says that you signed it, not that it wouldn't be true or untrue. So even if he did sign it, he took advantage of, if this were true, he took advantage of somebody who didn't want to sign it, clearly said they didn't want to sign it, when they were drunk to sign it to perjure themselves.
Yeah, and by the way, hypothetically speaking, if he was too drunk to remember signing it, he would remember being too drunk to, I mean, it would be make no sense. It'd be like, wait a minute. Of course, it wouldn't be perjury because he wouldn't even remember signing it. But again, it was electronically signed, so that makes absolutely no sense. But there's two things in here I want to point out very clearly. He says those screenshots aren't going to look good to the court. Again, very clearly telling him that the screenshot I just showed you was going to be gaslighting Ben, because Ben would have been thinking, oh my God, he's got screenshots of what the hell he's got screenshots of though. But it doesn't help Kyle at all. And the second thing is that he says, I didn't end up using that in my motion anyways, because I figured you try to start shit. But he did use it in his motion.
Yes, you did.
And this was from Sunday. He was lying to Ben about that.
ECF number 20, pages 12 and pages 17.
Yep.
You did.
You did.
You did. Okay? Dumbass, you did.
And there's another screenshot that I want to show you. Again, I have full permission from Ben. I don't like showing DMs. I really, honest to God, don't. People know that. But there are certain things that just go beyond the pale, and I would never do without permission. But he has given me permission. So I want to make that very clear that this is show. The next screenshot I show you is with permission. But when people send me DMs, I void the plague ever even having to ask them if I can show them. If people tell me no, they don't get shown. There's just I'm like Little Red. What you tell me stays in the vault. Even if I can't stand you, even if I have evidence, you're just vindicating me. I'm 99.999% absolutely not going to ever show something unless there's immediate threat of danger or something along those lines. Exigent circumstance. But I don't think I've ever had to do that. So
fuck you.
Yeah, she's the one that will. But anyway, so I'm going to show you this next screenshot from our DM, and you can look at it from the outside here. I'm transitioning now. All right, so this says, this would have to do with the Discover card. He says, I'm not all what sure is involved in what he did. My point is that he didn't have a Discover statement sent to my house address until after he learned about the default judgment against him and concocted the idea, and I'm convinced he concocted with other people, to claim that he was served with the wrong address, which is really the bizarre part of all this is that, again, legally, it makes no difference whether he's living there or not. This all had no relevancy to anything. This is how, when you own yourself, that's how bad it actually is that he concocted a plan that had no bearing on whether he was going to get the default judgment vacated or not. If he submitted any statements being sent to my address prior to the judgment date, they have to have been forged. Very clear on that.
There you fucking go.
And we did our due diligence. Landon, myself, and Chris put the Discover thing right off ECF 20, right off of the business court records. You can download it yourself. You can put it right in Adobe Pro. You can go in, you can modify and check the modifications for the address. You can see that it has been modified. It is a different font. It is Super Sans rather than Future Black, which is the other one. And you can also tell that on a comparator that Discover always uses the same font and almost always uses caps and a 9-digit zip. It is clearly been altered.
I would be curious to see, which we may have access to eventually, but I don't want to play my hand too open, to see who knew that this was forged ahead of time.
I obviously couldn't prove it, but I had strong indications.
I can't prove it. I can't prove it. I can't prove that anyone helped Kyle in this. However, I will say this. I have a strong feeling that someone in a certain group definitely helped Kyle come up with this.
I would say someone's.
Yeah, maybe more than one. Maybe more than one. Maybe. The thing is that I don't have any evidence of that. I'm just saying that it feels as though Kyle had help coming up with this bullshit plan to forge documents to try and get one over on you.
Oh, Reg is giving his fifis. His feelings.
Person that basically tried to present some bullshit to the court as if it was legitimate books.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah, I mean, so that's not far from reality to conjecture that.
Probably a good number of people that had. It's possible that we may have evidence of that in the future, but besides having that, it's if we do get that, it may become very obvious who knew about it but didn't say anything. So there's going to be two different sets here. There'll be people who knew what was going on and saw those chats or had that opportunity and saw that conversation and didn't say no or thought, well, whatever. And the people who were more active in actually assisting.
Yeah. So at this point, it's clear as crystal. Kyle was not living with his ex at the time of service. Kyle was served at his mother's address because he was living at his mother's address at the time. Service was proper, which means the default judgment will stick. Kyle has now resorted to sending threats to Ben because his back is against the wall and he knows just how fucked he is. If Kyle understands how fucked he is, then maybe his supporters should get the fucking hint as well.
Kyle knows how fucked he is before anything came out. As soon as he saw a message to Steve from Ben, before anything even got put into litigation, that is the action of somebody who's guilty as fuck.
And it also backfired because he didn't know exactly what was going on, and he even told Ben, hey, well, I'd even put that in my motion. Yes, you did. Another outright lie.
He actually encouraged Ben to look into and ask more questions.
Yeah.
Completely backfired. But it makes me wonder who else he's done this to. Like, do you think this is a one-off situation, or do you think Kyle's been threatening people in the background for a while?
I have absolutely no evidence either way of that.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't know. I really don't know. All I'm saying is that I think this shit has more twists and turns than even we can bring forward right now.
Than it ever deserved to have.
Yeah, exactly.
It never had. Look.
It's just a fucking roller coaster ride.
From day one, Reds and I had a plan with Kyle that we suggested. He didn't even want to even think about it. He wanted to. I know how Kyle is. Kyle will ground himself into the ground and just into dust, or grind himself into dust, I should say. That's how he is. He is obstinate. He will cut off his nose to spite his face, as my dad used to say. That is how he is, and this is why I was so hesitant to have a conversation with him like Reds wanted, because I knew it would not end well. I just knew it wasn't going to end well.
And sure as shit, I was right about that. But
Yeah,
I mean,
really.
I told you that, Brad. Did I not tell you that? I really, this is not gonna go well. I didn't want to do
Hey
this.
guys, I'm gonna send this to you. I just got sent this. Remember when you said earlier that people were gonna have to like cut shit up to present some bullshit as if it's in Kyle's favor?
Well, that's what I assumed that they would do, because that's what they would.
Here you go.
Did they do
You're
that?
It was pretty much predicted at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Feel
Predicted.
free to throw that on the screen.
Sure. Let me get this over here real quick. What am I? Get the fuck out! Are you serious? Oh my god! Hashtag Steve predicted this. Steve predicted this. Good thing that you got that notarized while I was apparently drunk off my ass, because that would have been bad for you. That it didn't get taken advantage of through the max. Holy shit! Thank you very much. I called it. I called it that they were gonna chop that shit up. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow. I assume that was Uni, by the way. Or is that somebody else?
That
Okay.
was Uni.
Wow.
Uni Rock is so fucking adorable at this point.
Wow.
This basically, because he's talking about the live stream, this confirms that was his alt account in the live chat, pretty much.
Yes, by the way, this is confirmation that it was from Kyle again. I verified this shit.
Good thing you got that notarized while I was apparently drunk off my ass, because that would have been bad for you if I didn't get taken advantage of to the max. So basically,
Yeah.
your big hits.
Apparently drunk. Wait, apparently
Oh,
drunk too. Like, he didn't even say that, yeah, you got it notarized, but I was drunk at the time. No, he was being sarcastic, that I was apparently drunk off my ass, because that would have been bad for you if it didn't get taken advantage of the max. Wow.
Uni's big defense of Kyle here is saying, hey, Potts signed it. He was drunk off his fucking ass when he did it. He doesn't remember what the fuck happened because he was being taken advantage of by a piece of shit that tried to get away with stealing thousands of dollars on a YouTube channel. But look at it. Potts is fucked, bro.
Yep.
Look at me. I'm Uni Rock.
Yep.
Vape.
I'm just freaking dying here. Oh my god.
My God, can you imagine?
All this winning with my fingerless fucking gloves and my fucking bandana. I'm just so fucking pumped because I totally defended Kyle. I'm gonna go buy more vape product. Mom!
Yeah, we didn't call this.
Yeah, tell me about it. Uni Rock.
Even says, well, good thing why you got the notarized while I was apparently drunk off my ass. However, what did you actually tell him before? He's like, it's kind of hard to say I was drunkenly signed something that clearly has an electronic signature on it. And then again, he's telling him about this in depth, that about him. Oh, well, you were drunk. You signed it after that night when we went to Billy Jack's. You do not remember because you were drunk. I wouldn't forge anything because knowing you could come back to me and say it wasn't you. And I end up didn't even using that in my motion anyways.
Hey guys. Hey guys. You guys want to see me make Uni Rock's entire career right now?
Go for it. Do what you got to do.
You guys want to see me make Uni Rock's entire career right now?
Sure.
Okay. Hey, Uni Rock. Channel for channel bet, my friend. Channel for channel bets. Now, here's the thing. I'm not talking about one channel or two channels or three. I'm talking all channels. So here's the thing. I bet my entire existence on this fucking website, including Twitter, that Kyle is going to get slammed by the judge.
I have no problem with that bet, but the problem is
Kyle will be found to have been living with his mom and therefore was properly served.
And even if here's the thing though, even if he wasn't living with his mom, it doesn't matter. He still was properly served. That's what these idiots don't seem to get.
Exactly.
But here's the thing, Reds.
Hang on. Okay. Steve, shut the fuck up for a second. What I'm betting is this. My bet is that Kyle will be found to have been properly served. Kyle was properly served. So Uni, you bet in the negative, and you bet your entire fucking channel. You bet your channel, and you bet your Twitter. So if I
Is
win,
that all of his YouTube channels?
Yeah.
So does that?
But how would you enforce that?
I couldn't, honestly. I'm just going to show people that he's not a man of his word, or is too much of a chicken shit to actually take the bet.
I had told people I'd have a bet, and by the way, I have $100. I'll do up to 1,000, but unfortunately I couldn't do it right away because I don't have much. I don't have nowhere near that in my PayPal. But I will figure out a way to do up to 1,000. But
all you have to do is say, I accept the bet. I accept the bet. You have to say, I accept it.
I have weeks ago said that all you have to do is bet me $100, and you go talk to the Nevermore Tavern, Jay. Send him $100 in PayPal. I have $100 I just transferred to my account because I was down to next to nothing on it. Because I paid people. I actually paid people like Kyle. And so I had to, I had to refill my PayPal. So I have money in it right now. If you want to bet me $100, the first person to get a hold of Jay and send him $100 in his PayPal, we all know he's absolutely one of the most integrity guy. What's the word? Integritous? Hey, has integrity. I don't know, whatever. I'll bet that $100 easily, and I was going to do that weeks ago. So all I got to do is just tag the Nevermore Taverns, send them $100, and I will send mine that day.
All right, let's see.
And by the way, I was willing to make that bet ages ago. I was thoroughly convinced before all this will happen that Kyle was properly served.
Oh yeah, we've been saying that the whole time. There has been no change. Like, people have claimed that there's been changes. There's been no changes on this side of the fence. Like what? Yeah. There's been more specification.
And doesn't Uni understand English? I mean, the whole thing apparently drunk. That indicates that he clearly is mocking that. It's a sarcasm. And again, I think that some of these people don't get that, and they don't understand that, and they use it against people.
We have noticed that what this particular group of trolls tends to do, they take advantage of people who struggle with communication,
or just generally nice people. Mm-hmm. I mean, you think I have to like trying to parse what I say sometimes because I know people are going to run with it and take it out of context, you know? And so I don't think Ben doesn't have any reason to.
So come on, you need to put your fucking money where your mouth is. My channel or your channel. Let's go ahead and do this. Take the fucking bet. If you are so confident that Steve is lying and Steve's gonna lose and Kyle is going to fucking pull something out of his ass and win this shit, then bet your goddamn channel.
I would just bet cash for sure.
No, because quite frankly, the internet would be a better place without that little piece of shit, honestly. So channel for channel. What do you say, Uni? Get back to me later with it.
Yeah, I told you what my lawyer told me how certain this actually is. I mean, yeah. I mean, this is over as far as that. I mean, we're thinking 4 steps ahead at this point.
Maybe Kyle has some secret evidence.
What do you mean? Here's the thing: when the person, again, first of all, it doesn't matter where he moved or not. That's irrelevant. But let's assume that it had any weight on the matter of the court matter at hand, what the judge has to decide. Let's say that it did. When you have your own witness, the person that you're saying you live with, this person who you're relying on as the judge to make a decision on, signing an affidavit saying that he did not live there, you're done. There's just no way of getting around that.
There's something that I do want to point out, though, that Kyle and Uni and crew are trying to paint Ben as some kind of jilted lover. Like, his motivation in doing this is just so he can get back at Kyle for some reason.
Right.
But here's the thing. That motivation is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Whatever his motivations are, as long as what he's saying is true and that those signatures are forged, which they are, whatever Ben's motivation is irrelevant. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all they can do is say that, he's just a jilted ex-lover kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing, that even if they do say that, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he is. So what? And who's behaving as a jilted lover? Who the fuck doesn't go away and demands people's attention? It's funny that all those people do tend to group themselves together. Weird.
Weird, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very weird.
So instead of actually addressing any of this shit or showing that it's not true or demonstrating that's the case, they're jumped to threats immediately before anything even happened, and also jumped into the accusations of motivation, which are also irrelevant. They haven't refuted shit. They're just trying to point fingers in other directions. Oh, but look over here, though, jangle keys.
Yep.
Hang on. Menace to sobriety. Rez is ready to cry. Oh, I am crying.
What?
With fucking laughter. I am fucking on the ground, laughing my ass off, tears rolling down my face.
You sound
this shit
butthurt,
is
man.
funny as fuck.
You sound so butthurt, Reds.
Oh my god. all
mean Menace to
the winning is making me so butthurt. Menace to sobriety. How will I ever go
and
on?
remember, this is the guy this is the guy that is like claiming that he has some kind of legal knowledge that he doesn't have because everything he's ever said about the case has been fundamentally wrong from day one.
Has been wrong.
Absolutely wrong.
Kicked in by Ruhif and the guy who decided he wanted to try and have an argument about what was going on that divorce court forum.
Yeah, which by the way was removed. Yeah, I mean, again, but who's been doing these things? Who's actually been doing these kind of shady things? Oh, let me guess. Because I can't prove that was Menace, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah.
Anyways, we have the producer in here.
Hello.
Hello. Did you catch this, or are you just joining us?
Most of it. Like I've got the gist that Kyle's threatening Ben and fuck. Jesus Christ, Kyle. Can you? There's a point at which digging a hole is worthless because you've already made it to fucking China, dude, and how deep this fucking hole is.
Yeah, it's a sunk cost fallacy. He's just continuing to go here.
Stop trying to force Steve's dick into your ass, Kyle. Nobody wants it.
Nobody wants that.
I don't know why he didn't recognize from once he got that default judgment that was GG, and it was like, oh well, they had victory streams, and I even said there's nothing he can do except if he decides to try to bullshit, and he lies. I actually was telling people that, but I didn't expect anything like this.
Here's the thing: every time something has come out, every time Kyle's tried to do something, we've basically gloated. We've basically had like a little let's read it through and laugh at it because it's been a victory every single time. At no point has Kyle ever had the upper hand in this entire situation since the death of that death of the NonSequitur Show episode. Ever since he decided he wanted to do this, as soon as he asked for the court of public opinion and told you to sue him, he has been fucking losing. He's just been posturing as if he's winning. So yeah, we've had victory streams because there's been a victory every time he fucking does something. It's hilarious.
And that's all it's been, is posturing.
If we're having victory streams now, you fucking wait till all the confetti drops.
Yeah, but that's all it's been, is posturing. I mean, his minor victory that he claimed was, oh well, Steve's lawyer wanted the contempt charges hearing first, and then the motion is set aside, and the judge denied it. And even I said, yeah, that's true, but how about the rest of the context of that story?
The word deny is kind of like a little bit offside there, too, because that's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
Your lawyer proposed this. The judge decided he wanted to do it this way instead for these reasons, and your lawyer said, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he agreed. It's called judicial expediency.
Yes. How's it going? Yes. Is this Party City? Okay, listen, we're going to be throwing a celebration in the next few weeks, and I was wondering, do you guys do pyrotechnics? No, all of them. We want all the pyrotechnics.
And I got to tell you, to be honest, even if the court, even if there was a miracle, whatever, it didn't go my way, I feel
there's not going to be.
There's not going to be. Even my lawyer said this is a done deal. It's just over, that part of it. But there's so much more to come on the contempt charges and possible criminal charges. But what I just wanted to say was that I feel vindicated anyways. I mean, everything that I've said from day one has been true. Bull has said nothing but the truth. Reds has said nothing but the truth. Chess questionable. No, I'm kidding. She's been nothing but the truth to me. That's all that matters. She's a goblin. Okay, I can't expect her to not have a little what's the word? Not dishonesty, but little chaotic neutral stuff. That's why I have her around. That's like the biggest reason I have a Chesh.
Oh my god!
I mean, I gotta use her for something, right? Maybe every party needs a chaotic neutral rogue.
He uses Chesh to lie for him.
I've never seen you lie.
Apparently someone.
I've never seen you lie. No.
Apparently someone is like, oh, if you want pyrotechnics, you need to call Rammstein, and I was like, actually, that's a really good idea.
Okay, let's be clear here, real quick. Bool, have you ever seen or heard me lie, publicly or otherwise?
Actually, no. You're one of the most honest people I know.
Yeah, I've never seen her lie. That's straight up. but you can play 4D chess.
Yes, I'm not incapable, and if I ever thought it was necessary, but the question is at what point do I think that it would be necessary? And the answer is you guys don't know that. Nobody knows the answer to that question.
So this day has been filled with so much win. It's it's almost overwhelming. Now I got to figure out where the fuck I need to get some pyrotechnics, because apparently Party City only has the flamethrowers, but I want the shit that throws like the sparkles.
Hawk says, I think Steve is looking for a term mischievously deceit. No, she's never been deceitful, but she'll play along with stuff like the whole 17 stuff, right? Obviously, any idiot knows that was completely, BS and stuff like that. So she wasn't lying about that. No idiot would believe that she was 17, right?
Yeah.
So,
and
that's the only thing I meant. But no, Bill and I have never seen Cheshire lie.
Puck is doing
because I would call her out on it.
Yeah, Puck is doing a protect for some reason. Anyway, so this has been a fun day. I am going to head off now. That
wasn't a lie. That was a joke, and that also wasn't a lie that I told. That's something that Nick Suter brought up and Reds brought up in a birthday stream that we were joking about. That wasn't even me.
When I say she is 17 every year, do you really need to explain to you that it's a fucking joke?
Well, time travel's a thing, supposedly. Well, yeah, here's another thing with the time travel. I even asked my lawyer, how does this happen without time travel? This wouldn't happen. Unirock, in his infinite, quote, wisdom, for some reason...
Dumbassery.
That's the antithesis, yes, of wisdom. It would be dumbassery. For some reason, said that we had been sitting on this stuff for a while, yet... I have clear and overwhelming evidence that the first time I ever talked to Ben was Sunday. We never sat on this information. As soon as we got it, I brought it to my lawyer's attention. My lawyer called Ben directly, had a phone call with him, and I believe it was on either Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember, but it was earlier this week to verify things, because I was like, I want you to handle all this. He verified Ben's story. We got this affidavit and we submitted it. So Unirock's narrative and even the lawyer's narrative saying that we had to do the 48th hours completely nonsense. The judge is going to be aware of that, which we could just bring up in oral conversation, oral arguments when he says, did you wait on this? My lawyer's like, no, I literally just found out about this. My lawyers cannot lie in court, and nor would he. Would I expect him to?
Exactly. Anyway, it's been fun. It's been real. I'm going to go ahead and hop off, and I'm going to say, see you later, Steve. See you later, Bool. See you later, Chesh. And also Puck, and I will see you guys later.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna answer a few more questions and bring this to a close. I want this to be pretty short, but I think we've said all we need to say, and I think it's apparent that Unirock and Kyle are basically going to take snippets of what they said and just kind of run with this narrative, like I said they were going to do. I mean, they're so predictable. It's ridiculous. My question is, do you think that they're going to actually try this narrative with the court? I just can't imagine it. I can't hear you, Chesh.
It's Puck.
Oh,
I think the judge is already pissed off enough, Steve, that it's not going to matter what Kyle says at this point.
Yeah,
because the paper literally does the talking in this case.
Yeah, and I've already sent all this stuff to my lawyer. He's well aware of the narrative that they're going to run, or may run. So I mean, it's what's funny is, if you've already committed contempt and perjury and forgery and all these other things, and then you still are submitting stuff, I don't know if that's continuation of the original thing or if that's new charges. I don't know how that works.
The only thing that I will think is going to be amusing as shit if it happens this way, I don't know if it will, but if he goes to jail for contempt for X amount of time, it'd be really funny watching him try to fight the forgery and perjury charges if they happen, while also still already in jail.
Oh,
Like,
I think it's all going to be contiguous. Continuous. Contiguous. Yeah. So, well, yeah.
We should ask chat actually. Hey, chat.
Contemporaneously. There we go. Sorry.
Let us know if you think this is a good idea, because just because we get Non-Sequitur Show back and start running, that doesn't mean that litigation is necessarily over for Kyle. Should we keep following his case?
Oh, I will be. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, but do we want to bother with it making videos about it and talking about it?
As needed.
Not on the channel.
Not on
the channel.
Yeah.
Obviously not on Non-Sequitur.
Yeah.
No, I need to clarify that one. But
Yeah.
we wouldn't do it on Non-Sequitur, but like over on this channel, or maybe Red's covering it with OPT, maybe on OPT's channel.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't have no issue with that. But I mean, we're also looking at other things. If for some reason,
I'm asking chat, Steve, not you.
Oh. Well, ask the chat then.
I'm trying to. Chat, you tell us what you think.
They say yes.
I'm seeing a lot of yeses.
Yeah. But here's the other thing. He'd be really silly to do anything further to any of the other assets. That will go into more criminal charges. Everything he does at this point, we're gonna be annotating for the DA. So any other thing that he does, it could lead to more future criminal charges, especially when there's ongoing litigation and he's messing with spoilage. That's usually civil, but at this point, I think it's going to be criminal, or at least there's a very high chance to be. But Godless Girl says Kyle has never apologized at all. Oh, come on, that's cute. That's adorable, Godless Girl. No, go back and watch the beginning of this, and you'll find out that's completely not the case. Yeah, Godless Girl's adorable. Kyle apologized. No, I even asked this question on my Twitter. I said, how many people do you think are eventually going to apologize to me? And
I put 0.
Yeah, no, I put 0. Well, I didn't put 0 because I can't vote, but...
My pinned tweet says exactly what I think about that situation. Oh, Thoughts by Jay Brown said that he would cover it. Yeah, he'll hook up with OPT. You two covering it would be really interesting, and then we can show up as guests sometimes if you'd like, I think. We would all be down for that.
Yeah, I don't think anybody will. Maybe one person at most, and that's just statistical average. But I by the way, I promise you guys, I have not forgotten about some other things like Mr. Atheist and Godless Engineer. Don't think that they are not going to have a reckoning. I promise. I promise the Non-Sequitur Show fans that.
Steve.
Hey, look, I even wrote a blog to Mr. Atheist, knowing Mr. Atheist was lying to his fans. I mean, outright brutally lying to his fans. And I was trashed for that. And yet, you can see now that I was not lying, and that he absolutely knew Kyle was full of crap. I even said, save your image now, save your ethics now, because this is all eventually going to come out. I mean, he's not going to get affected by this, don't get me wrong, but still.
So people are asking for a time frame. Do we have any kind of time frame?
For what?
For litigation and having the show, et cetera, like when...
Okay, so the minimum is 5 days to hold a contempt hearing. They have to give the lawyers 5 days. So I'm expecting probably on Wednesday, there'll be a bench ruling, which is going to deny Kyle's motion, obviously. He'll schedule a contempt hearing 5 or more days afterwards. At the contempt hearing, I expect Kyle probably will be arrested at that point. I didn't think it before, but at this point, I cannot imagine that he wouldn't be. But so I am convinced now that at some point I think Kyle will be going to jail. But he will. What happens is you go to jail and then you have to get out of the contempt charge, obey the court order, which is going to be excessive because there's a whole bunch of things that he has to obey. I personally think that if he doesn't get arrested, it's only because he didn't show, and he's going to run. Because he has filed for 5 failure to appears on his record
already. Is that
already.
when we're finally going to see those plane tickets to Mexico?
Well, I mean, he's just not, if he doesn't show for that hearing, there will be automatically a bench warrant issued. That's automatic.
Somebody who was happy that coronavirus is happening because it delayed the court is now going to be very upset that coronavirus is happening because it's not letting him fly to Mexico.
Yeah, and worse, had he not gotten a lawyer, we would have never entered all this stuff. We would have never caught it. It would have been over and done. Huh.
So the timing
all
on the show
backfired.
Ryber, the timing on the show is going to be a little bit up in the air depending on how long it takes for Kyle to quote unquote comply.
Yes.
Right? So if he doesn't comply, he goes to jail, and he goes to jail for X amount of time until he does comply, or I guess the court sees fit to send a court order to YouTube. I guess.
Yes, we can do
maybe?
that. We can send. We actually can send a court order to YouTube. So if anything happens to the channel, we can just get it reinstated. We can have it turned over. The judge can actually do that. We actually thought the judge was going to do that during one of the hearings, but unfortunately, the hearings didn't happen because of the corona. So yeah, so that kind of sucked. Because that kind of was our thing, and I actually was saying, well, yeah, we can do that, but at the same time, if we do that, there's one less contempt thing for Kyle, right? But I'm like, well, I have to weigh more. What do I want? The judge to order the channel back to YouTube directly, which he can do, or do I want Kyle to turn it over because if not, he's in contempt. I don't care at this point, but yeah, there's so many other things that he has to comply to. That's just one of many. So. But do you guys think he'll show up for the contempt hearing, which will be scheduled afterwards? Because I don't think that he would. I think originally he wanted to be able to tell his side of the story at a contempt hearing, which you wouldn't be able to do anyways. It's just my lawyer.
Starting to figure out he's not going to be able to tell his side of the story.
Yeah, because that's not what a contempt hearing's for. All you have to, I heard, and you guys may have listened, what Kyle was going to tell the judge for his contempt hearing, and I'm just like, okay, you do that.
Yeah, do I think he's gonna show up for the contempt hearing?
That's a tough one.
It is tough,
That's
right?
a tough one.
It's at this point, yeah, it's a really
5 failure to appears, and knowing that his chances of getting arrested are through the roof. If he doesn't get arrested for any of the criminal stuff first.
I would. Yep, that's fair. Yeah, they could arrest him now. I would be. I kind of think he's going to be just basically hiding under his blankets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of there too, because if you're making your man pay for dates that you take him on, odds are you don't have money for a plane ticket anywhere. So.
Well, when I say he's going to run, I didn't mean like literally run. I just think that he wasn't going to show up to court, and that, I don't think he's like literally leave the state or anything. No. Yeah. Godless Gold says, I don't understand. I thought Steve won the money and the rights to the NonSequitur Show account a year ago. I did win the rights to the NonSequitur Show account, but Kyle was trying to get it overturned and concocted some fabricated story to the court on it, which, by the way, wouldn't have helped him even if true, which is the most ironic part of all this.
Yeah, I said that as soon as I popped in. I was like, the stupid part about all this is none of this actually helps him. It doesn't. It does not rebut the presumption of service.
Correct.
That is the procedure in North Carolina.
Even the rebutting of, even if he was able to rebut service, it still doesn't make any point. Like, he still has no leg to stand on about ownership of the channel.
None.
No.
That whole copyright crap is crap. That I don't know where they ever came up with that narrative from. I've already cleared all that. That's just BS. If he thinks it's a copyright stuff, he could sue me in federal court. Bring it on. But that's not going to happen. But no, there's no copyright thing.
Now on the live stream for the thumbnail that you used for this stream and the last one about this, that you owe me $30,000 for that.
She's expensive, man. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I will put thumbnail by Chesire in here so people can commission you for stuff.
Oh, some people are saying that Geo saying that he thinks that he's going to literally go into another state.
I don't see that. Possibly. I don't think so.
He's going to be too paranoid to move. I think that he's just going to do the exact same thing that he did when he was served the first time. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Just pretend it doesn't happen. That's what his historical record is like. He just pretends like nothing happens, and then it gets worse and worse and worse, and he keeps digging his own hole.
His poor mother is going to have to answer the door to the police showing up.
Yeah, Ben said he was
to run, go into. Mom, tell them I'm not here.
Ben said that Kyle was embarrassed that his mom got the service. I mean, that his mom had to sign for service. He had locked himself basically in his room or something to that effect. I mean, he just was not happy that his mom had to sign for that. Can you imagine, how much worse it's going to get? I mean, gee. Oh.
Oh, I think that's all we have.
If he was actually
right now,
if he was actually thinking at this moment in time, if he actually decided to start thinking now, the best thing he could do, and this is me talking to you, Kyle, at this point, because I'm sure one of your fans is going to listen to this and repeat back what everyone said. The best thing you could do is start sending shit to Steve as far as accounts. Just get the accounts shit done before you go to your hearing on Wednesday.
Oh, I think that, I mean, okay, straight up, that's the best advice possible, but that's why he won't do it.
That's why he's not going to do it.
Correct.
Exactly.
No chance
but
in hell.
no chance
He
in
could,
hell.
he could at least say to the judge, well, you know what, I really have screwed up, but I really want to fix things. I've already transferred all this other stuff. The contempt charge, the contempt hearing would even happen at that point, pretty much, if everything was turned over, because there wouldn't be a need, or we would ask to have it dismissed, or it would just be dismissed, right? So, yeah, but that's obviously not going to happen at this point. He's going to go down kicking and fighting, and that's fine at this point. I don't care. Let him go down kicking and screaming.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kyle, stop listening to whoever it is you're listening to, and I have a pretty good idea of who they are. And stop trying to make up schemes to get out of it, and face the fucking music, man. Face the fucking music.
He did say on his Spotify audio not thing that music is the only format you can't lie in, or some shit.
Godless Girl says, do you guys feel any pity at all? Though no, I have empathy,
Pity?
which means I have the ability, but I don't have sympathy, which I do not have any sympathy with whatsoever. Zero.
I have
zero.
pity for the tree that continues to make oxygen for him.
Dsum Newsome says for $2 Canadian, Kyle is using Russian vids. Anthony as his lawyer. Wouldn't be surprising. I don't know ways. Like I said, I don't know exactly who said what to him, but
that would surprise me. I already think I know who Kyle's in bed with, so I actually would be surprised to see that, like, the FE Core crew over there.
Yeah, I mean, we have our suspicions, but again, we kind of want to make sure things are validated, obviously.
Oh, yeah, but we know who he's, like, fucking working with. Like, we know for a fact, we already have evidence of that. That's not, like, that's not going out on a limb, I don't think.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, obviously, he does hang with those people, so, but we don't know what they're telling him, but I suspect very strongly that he didn't concoct any of this by himself. Very strongly.
Yeah, that's a different claim.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, I think we got out what we wanted to get out.
Hooray!
Yay! Going to Unicorn Mania. I pity Kyle's mom though. $2 New Zealand. Yes, Mania. I think she was innocent in all this. I think he did probably manipulate her. We'll see what happens there.
About her until Ben's interview. Ben's interview made me far more inclined to feel bad for her than suspect that she had anything to do with it purposefully.
Yeah. We are going to have a caffeine corner tomorrow. We're going to be probably talking about something similar. We're definitely going to recap. We'll probably have a Q&A as well, a call-in. But I want you guys to actually, you know what? I am curious, and Reds had brought this up earlier, about people that still are holding on hope for Kyle and believing Unirock. I am curious. Why? I literally want to know why anybody at this point would believe anything that dude says. When we constantly just show time after time after time how wrong he is. And also I want to know what possibly they think the judge can actually look at this point. Where in the civil court, it's only a preponderance of the evidence. It's not even beyond a reasonable doubt, which, by the way, this is even beyond a reasonable doubt. I mean, there's just no question about it. Ask any lawyer. This is a lawyer's wet dream for all this to happen. But what possibly do they think a judge is going to look at and go, oh yeah, Steve has all this evidence. We have all these things against him. We have clear evidence that things have been altered. The notary date was altered. We already entered that. That's already been established, right? And then it comes up with the discover. Then it comes up with the signatures. And then your own person you're saying you live with says you didn't. What possibly would the judge go, oh yeah, but you know what? Forget all that. Steve's a mean poopy head. I'm gonna side with Kyle.
The thing. It's like Kyle has directly disrespected and ignored the judge, and you haven't. So who looks like the mini poopy head here?
Yeah.
Not to the judge, right?
Which is actually the only person who fucking matters, Kyle. Remember that.
The judge, right.
The judge is the person that matters, not Unirock's opinion, not fucking anybody else's opinion.
Opinion matters.
Right. Not Nate Brody, not any one of those people over there. Nope. The only one that matters is Mr. Judge Gale.
And that's why we've been very, very specific in what we put to the court. We've been, and by the way, like I said, I don't write my own affidavits, contrary to what Uni Rock understands about law, which is nothing, it's by self-admittance. But I do check them very thoroughly, and I go over them with Glenn, and I go over with other people. I want to make sure that everything that I put in that affidavit is correct.
I enjoy.
And I don't think Kyle did at all, obviously.
I enjoy that Kyle said, "I want the court of public opinion to decide." The court of public opinion decided, and then he wouldn't accept it. So then it went to, let's go to actual court and get it decided. And then that didn't work out for him, and now he's like, "I'm gonna tell on Ben's mom."
Yeah, where else do you go from this, though? I mean, how much worse could this possibly get? I don't even know.
For 5 says, most likely anyone who believes Jason has the same problem as Jason, an inability to admit error due to narcissistic cognitive dissonance.
You know what? I'm not convinced Jason is a narcissist. I don't think that's what his actual disorders are.
Steve, your ability to give charity is beyond measure.
Well, I know.
For fuck's sake, he's a narcissist.
It's not a matter of charity. It's I'm going by what I know about the conditions for it. There are other things that he might have that are very much related, but I don't think it would be NPD. Could it be borderline NPD? Okay, granted. But I don't think he has NPD. I think he has more of he's just a flat out pathological liar. And he has to lie for narrative to get donations. I mean, that's his whole shtick. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's a narcissist, though. Kyle lies pathologically because it's all about him. It's all about his ego. It's all about his reputation. It's all about how it affects him. That is true for most narcissists. And I don't think Unirock does it for that. I don't think he does it for his image because he doesn't give a shit about his image. What he gives a shit about is that money coming in. So,
I think he's definitely arrogant.
Sure. Well, I'm not. And Gonisco says, "What do you diagnose?" I'm not giving anybody a diagnosis. I'm just saying that
Nope.
Yeah, these are not medical diagnoses. I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm just saying about what I know about the topic. I'm just laypersoning, saying that I don't think that he has narcissism per se. But again, I would take arguments for that.
Well, yeah, and let us be clear: nobody on this panel at this moment or in the past is qualified to diagnose
not by any
any psychological condition, narcissism included. And we will fully admit that this is just a shotgunning this shit out.
Yes, absolutely.
Just to say, hey, you think maybe that's all it is.
But I want to answer those questions if people want to comment to me in the video description about why they think that Jason's followers or sycophants still haven't.
And if we're doing a call-in show tomorrow, this is probably going to be the topic, is this new development and with the situation moving forward. So if you have questions or you have opinions about Kyle, about NonSequitur Show, about what you would like to see from NonSequitur Show when it's back, any of that shit, call in and tell us what you think.
Yep.
It would be interesting to have somebody who, I'm not saying armchair diagnosis either, but to have a qualified person.
I'm looking into that.
Give their 2 cents on this, because it would be fascinating.
I have really 2 people that I know are qualified that have PhDs in this particular topic that I'm aware of that I will be reaching out to, but it's just not quite yet. Okay.
Sure.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying, when the time comes, it will be an interesting exercise.
Oh yeah, no, you'll be playing that first show. I think that's more of an NSS show, but yeah.
I'm also going live after this, but I'm just playing South Park. So if you guys want to come and hang out with me, I'm gonna be good.
Yeah, go hang out with her for a while. I'm gonna be probably playing Remnant, but I'm gonna be playing. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna be playing by myself. Go ahead, quote that as you want. I'm just farming some trait points. But Bulliner, you got anything?
There's the Uncalled For tonight at 7:30 p.m. Other than that, I'm just chilling today. So
Nice.
Yeah, it's Sunday. All right, well, we'll find out what happens with Kyle Files by 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. But I have a feeling if he does, it'll be something along these lines, and it'll just be ridiculous. But I can't imagine his lawyer allowing that unless she's been seriously even lied to more than I've even thought. So we'll see what happens. But at least you guys know the truth. You guys have the actual evidence, not the snippets that Unirock puts out, because that's what he does. But yeah, I look forward to reading the comments about what you guys think, why Unirock's followers just do not have the ability to even think marginally about some of this stuff. I've never seen a group of people so in denial in my entire life. And that talk, I've seen Trump people that are more reasonable than these people that just will not accept reality. And that's saying something.
It is saying something.
That and the ability to suck people who we thought were reasonable in.
Yes, that's another thing. They're very good at that.
That's kind of scary, as a matter of fact.
There's two things with that. It's that toxic thing I talked about before. It's that toxic poisoning of the situation, but also and that taking advantage of people who struggle with understanding concepts or who struggle with understanding social situations. But the other one is people who are very emotional, people who respond to either emotional arguments or who are just emotional people, and their response is emotional to hearing something.
Sometimes I think it's even situational emotional stuff.
Yes,
and I'll kind of cover that off air with you guys because I don't want to bring up names on the stream.
Yeah, it's fine. But it goes to pathos, logos, and ethos. There's three main forms of persuasion abilities, and a lot of people will persuade toward an ethos things and a pathos rather than a logos. Logos is what I do, where it's more towards just hard facts kind of stuff, logic, reason.
Let me give you an example. This person is these two people are talking about this person over here, and these two people, this person doesn't like this person and doesn't want this person to like this person. So this person tells this person that this person did some horrible fucking shit. And this person is like, wait, what the fuck? That's awful. And they get emotional and they get upset because it's an awful thing. So then this person goes to this person and says, what the fuck? Why would you do this? And then this person goes, what the fuck are you talking about? Why would I do this? They get frustrated and angry because they're being attacked. And this person is like, oh my God, why are you being
now you're
like
gaslighting me.
and like it's just the situation, the kind of situation that I'm talking about. And then these people use that to isolate that person away so that they can never actually find out what the fuck went on.
Yeah, and I've seen it happen multiple freaking times, and they're very good at it. I will give them props for that.
I need to get puppets.
Yeah. Well, again, isolation is one of the things for a cult type mentality, which again we'll do another show on. And we'll do a show on ethos, logos, and pathos. I think it's important because, like you said, I think you're 100% right. I think a lot of people that do respond to more pathos arguments, which is persuasion by emotions, especially people that have visceral reactions to something, they're going to be a lot less critical thinking when it comes to, hey, should I put some stock into this? How should I evaluate this? Because you hear something, they just want to react to it, right?
Yeah, especially if you try to be neutral and if you're in a position where you actually respect both parties involved. So if you actually respect both people, then you're kind of forced into this position, and you're emotional. You don't, especially if you don't recognize that you're emotional, and you need to like just breathe that shit before you actually approach that other person, or before you go back to that person and say, okay, can you demonstrate that? Because the thing is this emotional person, if they ask this person's going to get mad at them and berate them for asking, and so they're going to okay, because they don't want the other person to be upset, and they're upset, and everybody's upset. So they're like, okay, well, it's not going to be effective talking to you, so I'll go ask the other person. And the other, like, it's just fucked. It's a manipulation tactic.
Absolutely, it is. And we do. Some of us do get upset by getting asked the same questions over and over and over again. We've explained it a million times. I get that. But, for the most part, I love when people honestly and earnest want to know the truth and the facts. If they come to me, I'll spend hours with them. People in the live chat know this. I've done it many times. And I heard somebody recently say something to the fact, well, if you go to ask Steve for evidence, he'll immediately block you. Can I ask when that has ever happened? Because to my knowledge, it certainly never has happened. I want people to ask me. Why would I want people to ask me knowing that I was going to block them? Do you see my Twitter being blocked? Do you see my be blocking like all these people asking me? No, never.
Well, they're conflating your desire not to deal with certain individuals.
People have already blocked and sea lying. Yeah, that's a different thing.
People that you block on site because they just won't give it up, for fuck's sake. Versus someone new or someone who you do honestly want to have understand it.
Yes.
There's a difference there. Like, we want people to understand this stuff. We want to be transparent with people.
I think there's
But
also
I don't need somebody coming up saying, well, Steve's a rape apologist. First thing to me. One, I'm not Steve McRae. Two, I actually had a problem with him because of the timing of that show, being it was smack in the middle of this non-sequitur showcase, but it's Steve's channel. He's allowed to have on who he wants.
I mean, you're allowed to agree with you. Wait, you're allowed to disagree with me? Stop that crazy talk. Stop it, David. Yeah. Stop it. Man, I don't.
No more Bull. He's getting
Bull. What about hashtag? What about Bull?
Hashtag block Bull.
But here's the thing. Bull and I could disagree, but Bull knows, just like I know, Bull knows that everything I do, I really try to make sure it comes from a good place, honestly. And Bull's the exact same way. Bull would never do anything ever deceptively or in a bad place. If he made a decision, it was the wrong decision, I know it came from a good place, period. I'm not a consequentialist. So I don't care that it resulted in bad things. I care that the intent of the action, and Dave's intentions are always pure, always, forever. And I will stake my entire YouTube reputation on that. So don't fuck me over, Dave. Gearhead selling $5, and we're gonna end it. As the $10 said when the NonSequitur Show was running, Steve equals logos, Hal equals pathos, godless equals Moron?
Moron.
Oh, more. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know now. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, all right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to see you guys 11 a.m. tomorrow at Caffeine Corner. Please, like I said, leave some comments in the video descriptions of what you think. They've been really good lately. I've been really enjoying reading them. And by the way, I'm only going to remove a comment if it's just like Brule says. If it's just, hostile, sea-lying, negative, that has no relevancy on anything, yeah, you're not going to get a platform here because, especially on some sock account, it's not going to happen. But if you are kind of new to what's going on, because I know new people are coming over, and you want to know the truth, at least we can direct you where to go. Chesh has a brilliant playlist that's already set, ready to go, and yeah, it's a lot of work to listen to this stuff, but it's worth it. So.
Yep.
All right, see you guys tomorrow. Good night.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Oh yeah, everybody head over to Chesh. Chesh, put your channel in the video description.
I'm Steve in South Park, and it's hilarious.
Oh